Hello, everyone. Wishing you all a very, very good morning. I hope all of you are safe, healthy, fine, and happy. Good morning, Santosh, Vahini. Good morning, beta. Good morning, Harshita. How are you, beta? Santosh, Harshita, Vahini, Yashwant, Deepak. I think all of you are back in town after your small celebration of Raksha Bandhan. I'm fine. See, hi Vikas, how are you? I'm fine. See, I'm looking fine, isn't it? I had a new haircut. My hair was getting all over the way, and so on Sunday I got some time off, and I took a cut, and here I am back with your classes again. Before starting the class, the same old instructions: keep your cameras off. Sit in a place where you have a good network, so that your network doesn't go here and there. If you have to talk, if you have to send any message, send it on my ID of Astik. What is this here? Send it on my ID Astik, or replace it to everyone in the general group. Okay, I have also allowed you to unmute yourself. So you can unmute yourself if you are asked a question. So you can do that on your own. I may not have to tell you how to do it. You must be knowing about it. Good morning, Teja. How are you? Yes, Hanak, we are done with the relative motion chapter. Yes, Yashwant, today we are going to do a new topic, relative motion up till what we are supposed to know at this point in time. We are done with that. Maybe after your 11th course gets over, then I'll tell you, then I'll be doing some more classes, and we'll be doing some more things that we are not doing right now, probably. So, as I told you, beta, I always believe in this slogan that we always follow a principle which is known as need to know. I told you about this need to know basis, right? Need to know. What do you need to know at this point in time? So, what we have done is probably I have told you more than what you need to know at this point in time. See, you must understand that the course for IIT JEE is vast. I can keep on doing motion in one dimension for entire 6 months, entire 6 months, and we still will not be able to do 1D motion, right? So there is a point in time where you have to say, okay, this is what we require, and the rest of them shall be done when time comes. Okay, so that is how we shall proceed. Now, before going on to today's topic, let me ask you, how was your exam? You had an exam on Sunday. How did you do? How many of you appeared for it? First of all, did all of you appear for it? Can I have raised hand? How many of you appeared for the exam? Only three? No, not good, not good, not good. Vijay, Lakshmi, Swati, Sai, Kartik, Rishika, Vikas, Vijay, Triveni, Devesh, Tesvi, Harshita, Surendra, Siddharth, Padmakant, Ganesh, Praveen, Sainath, Likita, Sashank, Jyotsna, Jagdish, Sai Tarun. Did you all appear for the exam? Right? How about your exam? Was it good? Or what were your marks? Can you tell me your marks? Good, Deepak. What were your marks? I think in physics, out of 100. How much did you score? All of you. Anyone would like to tell me how much did you score? 60? 60 is good. 80, I think, is better. Santosh, but well tried. 60 is a good score in the exam. It is a good one. What about the others? Good morning, Dinesh. Send you a message on the other ID. Goli, well done. 70. Good. Well done. What about the others? Goli has got 70. Deepak got 60. What about the others? Deepak has got 80. Good. 81, Santosh. Well done. Santosh, what is the overall score? Deepak, Santosh. Also tell me your overall score, physics, and then the overall score, so that I can compare how we are doing. 230. Good. So Deepak, that's a good distribution. If you got 230 overall and you got 18 physics, that means you are doing pretty well in all the three. That is a good score, Deepak. What about other Santosh? What is your score? Teja, Hanak, 233. Santosh, great. Santosh, I got your score. So 165. Who told me 165? Shashank, you got 165 overall. What about your physics score, Shashank? Veronica, 90. Wow, great, Veronica. What is the total? What is the total score, Veronica? Please tell me your total scores as well, so that I can, give you an idea of how you are doing in 60, 165, 60. Okay. Ganesh, 75. Well done, Ganesh. What about the overall score, Ganesh? I don't know about the offline classes, Pranay. Hannah got 72. Great. Okay, Ganesh got 180. That is good. That is good. Everyone has appeared and given out of 300. I know that, Hannah. Out of 300? Hannah, okay. Out of 300, you got 72 overall. Okay, you are definitely improving somewhere, right? Okay, that 72 is not in physics. That is out of 100. Okay. Ganesh got 180. Ganesh got 75 in physics. Well done. Veronica, what about you? You got, I think, highest, I think Veronica got 90. 90 is good. That means you only got two answers wrong. Viney only got 85 out of 300. Okay, Viney, what about your physics score, Viney? What was your physics score? Viney, what was your physics score? Veronica, what was your score? Okay. See, those who have got good marks, 75 in physics. Well done, Teja. Well done. 80 out of 100, Venu. Well done. What about your overall score, Venu? How did you do in the overall score? 255. Wow, that is great. 255 is good. 255 is good. 255, 75. Great. 80, these are 240. Okay, so you got more marks in the other subject. That is good. That is good. That is good. 255 is a great score. Venu, well done. Keep it up. Now, listen to what I say very carefully. Now, it's good if you're getting good marks, but it's not very bad or bad if you're not getting so good marks. Now, try to understand some things very clearly in your head, beta. Some people are sending me messages here. Dinesh got 230, 243. Veronica, please send message on the other ID, beta. I can't see this ID. 243. Veronica got 89. You cannot get 89. I think you will get 90, because if you get two questions wrong, you will get 90. You will not get 89. I think 89 is not possible. 90 is possible. If you get two questions wrong, your score will be 90 out of 25, right? Plus 4 minus 1, so it will be 90, I think. 243, Veronica, that is a good score. Very good score. Now, please listen to what I say, especially for students who have got very high marks, about 240, 240, about 240. I must tell you, I mean, compared to the last attempt of JE last month, 2 months, 1 month back, 99 percentile, 99 percentile, which was above 99%, you will get everything, almost everything. 99 percentile was somewhere around 220. 99 percentile is somewhere around 220. Are you all getting me this? 99 percentile. Deepak, 230 is good. 230 is not bad. 230 is good. 99 percentile is somewhere around 220. So you can imagine, I mean, the numbers do not vary a lot. I've seen it for the last 3 or 4 years since this NTA thing has started, 2 or 3 years. Somewhere around that 220 range, you will get 99 percentile. If you get to around 250 plus, 250 or plus, you will get around 99.7 or 99.8. You will get somewhere around that. Percentile means it's a way of marking something. It is basically taken from GATE. That percentile means how many percent of people are behind you. So if you get 100 percentile, you cannot get 100 percentile. 99.9999998. That means you are the first, and rest of the 99.9999% people are behind you. The 99 percentile is like only 1% people are ahead of you, and 99% people are behind you, after you. 99.7 is a pretty damn score. 250, somewhere around 250, you should be getting 99.7 or 99.8. 167, Goli, good. You can improve on it, don't worry. Now, remember, some of you have got 240, 250, 255. I think Venu got 255. Pretty good score. But Venu, Deepak, Hanak, Teja, Veronica, Vahini, Venu, everyone, Deepak, Maruti, Jayant, Sashank, Ganesh, to everyone that I'm talking, if you get good marks, it's good. But don't get overwhelmed, overjoyous, more happy, and you lose your grip on the subject. What happens is, if you get very high marks in the very first papers, we are still only 2 months old. If you get very high marks, you might get overconfident. You have to understand that the course that you are doing is a very, very little one. Whatever marks you are getting, whether it's less or more, it doesn't matter. For me, all of you are equal. Whatever marks you are getting are only based on probably one chapter or one topic of that chapter. You get very high marks in that, it's a very good sign, but don't get overconfident, because this is not your overall marks over the entire curriculum. It's only a very small part of that curriculum. And that too, what you are doing right now, it is very fresh in your memory. You know everything about it. And that is why you get high marks. In my case, I could have given question from relative motion. I did not give you that. Why I did not give you relative motion का question? Why I am giving you questions from a relatively older part? Why not give the present topics? Why I'm not giving you the exact present topics? Why I'm not giving you the exact present topics? Yes, Anak, that is correct. I don't want to gauge what you are doing right now, because if I give you a question of what you are doing right now, all of you will score 100 out of 100. I don't want that. I just want that you keep a track of what you have been doing throughout. And as time progresses, I keep on giving you questions from the previous parts as well. You keep on giving questions from the previous part as well, because I don't want to gauge you on what we are doing right now, because right now it is very fresh in your memories. I want you to keep a track that you can expect if physics में question can come from anywhere. And that is how you will be able to recollect what you had done 2 months before. Maybe in the next paper you might find questions from motion in 1D. You might find questions from basic physics, basic math. You might find questions from vectors. That is just to keep a track on what you have been doing. Units and dimension, just to keep a track of what you have been doing. As we move forward in our journey, the papers are going to be tougher, not by the level of it. The level that I'm giving you is probably one step higher than the level of the NTA exam. You will not find a tougher question in an NTA exam that you don't find in my papers. It's one level tougher. But the only thing is, the course is very small. Right? And as time progresses, as time moves forward, as we cover more and more topics, obviously you'll get more questions from the previous, more questions from the current topics, but you'll always get questions from the previous one. So that I keep a track of what you have been doing. And trust me, way before your JEE mains, maybe if the first attempt of JEE mains is in, say, November of next year, when you are in 12th standard, way before your JEE attempt, looking at your marks, I would be able to tell you how much marks you are going to get in the final exam. I'll tell you that. And trust me, my my guess would be in the range of plus minus 5%, not more than that. So if I tell you that Venu, you are going to get 240, you'll either get somewhere around 235 or 245. You'll not get more than 245. You'll not get less than 235, depending on if you perform at the same level. Now, in that day, you get fail, you cannot go to the examination hall. Well, that I can't tell. But I will be giving you a band for everyone. For each and every one of you, I'll give you a band for physics. Now, beta, in physics, Venu or Deepak or Vahini or Veronica will get from here to here, somewhere from here to here. That's it. And I'll tell you that. That is why I keep on asking your marks. I keep a track on it. Less marks. If you get less marks, it's a good sign. See, when something strong is built, it's not done in one day. The Eiffel Tower not built in a day, but now it is always there. Taj Mahal was not built in a day. To have a strong building, we need a strong foundation. And if you're getting less marks, you will be inclined to work more hard. Okay, Suri. So how was your exam, Suri? You have only joined in August. Don't worry. Don't worry, you are. Yeah, why is it not possible to crack JEE? JEE is not tough. Who said that JEE is tough? JEE is not tough. JEE is not tough. Trust me on that. JEE is not tough. I have cleared it. I know it. How I have cleared it? Well, I'll tell you my story. Suri, give me 4 or 5 minutes. Now, when I came from a very small town. Don't worry, you'll get all the lectures there, beta. And all the lectures are there. And if you need any special help, I am always there. I came from a very small town known as Guna. No, you'll probably not find it on the map. And I came to this big city, Bhopal. And when I came, I was in 10th standard and I was moving on to 11th standard, call it first year. Now, when I came, I just heard something known as IIT. I probably only knew the full form. And there are 5 IITs. That's the only information I had. I came to this school, which is the biggest school in this entire state, MPN school. And I just said to someone, I want to crack IIT. And then I realized that these students who are my batchmates now, who are my classmates now, have been studying for IIT since 9th standard. So 9th standard, they are studying for IIT. I was like, oh, 9th standard IIT? 9th standard, I was just doing, I did not even know what is physics, what is chemistry, what is math. For me, it was only science. They had a publication known as Brilliant Tutorials. You might have heard about it. Brilliant Tutorials. That was on 12 Masilamani Street, Chennai. It was Madras at that time. They used to get steady packages from Masilamani Street. Brilliant Tutorials. I had no idea what is Brilliant Tutorials. What is Brilliant Tutorials? When I should sit in the class and the teacher we were studying maths, people at the back were doing integration, and I was doing very trigonometry. When I came, I think I joined the school in the month of July. My father got transferred, so I got late by 2 months. I transferred in July. In July, when I came to my school, all these students who are my classmates, who are now my friends, dear friends, they were way ahead of me. I was not even able to understand what are units and dimensions, and they were on rotation. Some were on work per energy, some were on rotation. They had actually done the entire mechanics, and I had not even started mechanics. They had done the entire trigonometry, and they are doing quadratic equation. I do not know what is trigonometry. I'm still on sine, cos, tan, and I only know sine square plus theta plus cos square theta is 1. And they have solved the entire brilliant packages. They had ML Khanna, this Mota book of around 2,000 pages. They had already solved half of it. And I did not even know what is ML Khanna. And we did not have any teacher who can teach us. No one. What do I do? I was, first day I came home from the school, I was like, Papa, nahi hoga. I can't do this. I can't compete with these guys. They are way ahead of me. Put me in some different school, MP board, probably this was CBSE, the first year of CBSE. Put me in a school where I can find people of my caliber. They are way ahead of me. I just can't compete with them. No way. I mean, I looked at the question, I was flabbergasted. What is this? IIT JEE 1983, I couldn't even understand the question, what they're asking in the question. How will I do it? Not possible for me to do it. Forget about it. He said, okay, don't worry, I'll get you in a different school. Go there and find out, find out from where did they start. ML Khanna cannot be the first book of math that they study. There must be something else that they started with. I said, Papa, no use. They are too far ahead of me. No, go and find it out. Find it out, and next day I'll put you in a different school where you will not find all this. I said, okay, I'll go and find out what they started their studies with. Not ML Khanna, definitely. I went to them and I asked them what book I should start with. Then someone told me the name of S.L. Loney. To get Loney. Loney, what is that? There's a very small book. I said, no, the only thing I was concerned with ML Khanna was this 2000 pages, this one, this mota. It was weighing around 3 kgs. Like, itna mota to nahi hai na, it is not that thick. No, it's a very small book, very small. Chota sa, patla sa. I was like, okay, chota hai, then I can probably manage it. So I came back and I told my father, go and get Loney for me. He was like, Loney I also did in my engineering. I'll get you Loney. We went to the old bookshop. We did not have enough money to get new books. Anyways, we went to an old bookshop. I told him to go to old bookshop and get that Loney. I think it was around 15 or 20 bucks. I got in, I saw it. It was simple. It was simple for me to understand. Okay, trigonometry, sine square, cos square. And then I started studying. I started studying from July. Everyone was way ahead of me. I never thought where they are. Trust me, 3 months. From July till October, I studied day in, day out. In October end, I had actually finished the entire curriculum of 11th standard. I had actually reached up till fluids and they were still on to gravitation. And I'd done everything. I appeared for brilliant exams, and brilliant exam was the epitome. It was even tougher than the actual JEE. First attempt of brilliant exam, I got somewhere around 300 rank. Second attempt, I got under 100. Third attempt, I got 75. And then I became overconfident. That is what I made the biggest mistake. Third attempt, I was like 75. That was somewhere around November. And these friends of mine who had studied, they were way below 500. I was into 75, they were way below 500. I was like, I've beaten the competition. Why will I give brilliant tutorial exam? I will not give. Waste of time. I go there, I waste. And that time the exam was for 9 hours. 9 hours. 3 hours physics, 3 hours chemistry, the next 3 hours, next day maths. Who will spend 9 hours in the exam? I am already under 100 in the country. Let me forego all the exams. So I never gave any exam after that. The next exam I gave was my JEE. No state PET, nothing. Next exam I gave was my JEE. And when I saw the JEE paper, my hands were shivering like anything. I had not given any single exam. Biggest mistake of my life. I knew everything, but I had no exam. What should I say? No way of how to attempt that exam. What to do with that paper? I know bloody everything, but I don't know how to write it. I started shivering. And see, those friends who were way behind me, but they were giving exams regularly. They had taken test series. There was no Fridge at my time. Even it was there, it was not very popular. So they were only Agarwal, Apex Academy, or it was Brilliant. So they were appearing for both the exams, Brilliant as well as Agarwal. And I was enjoying life. I was studying, but I was not giving exams. End of the day, my friends, 700, 800, 900, 5 of them were below 1,000. I 3,826. 3,000 not 3,800 something, 57 something first year. Big mistake. Then I again took a drop. I improved my rank drastically from 3,800 to 1,800. And probably I was exhausted with what I had done. The biggest mistake I made was never gave exam. I got overconfident with the marks that I was getting, and I was way ahead from all of the rest. That is what you have to guard against. To get good marks, don't become overconfident. Work harder. Give exams harder. Every exam that you give, every exam is a dress rehearsal of what is going to happen in the final exam. And trust me, the number of exams that you're going to give, there are 54 weeks in a year, multiplied by 2. So somewhere around 100 exams you're going to give on an average. In one exam for JEE, I give you 25 questions. 25 multiplied by 100, 2500 questions you will get. Out of those 2500 questions, only forget about the rest of the things that we are doing in the class. Out of those 2500 questions, only you will get at least 10 to 15 in your exam. Same. So if you give exams, wallah, you are actually doing questions that are going to appear in your final exam. Trust me on that. Mark, write each and every question. I'll ask sir to give you a PDF of the questions that we have given in the exam. Keep a PDF of that question. And when you give your final exam, I'll ask you to get all those PDFs of physics. I tell you, sir, dekh beta, ye question is this one, your question is this one. I'll tell you that. No matter what question NTA makes. I'm that confident. I hope I've made my point clear. Even if Suri, you start now, life has not moved forward. You can still work it out. We have only done 2 chapters. We can complete that chapters later on. NLM is a fresh beginning. NLM has got nothing much to do with what we have done in the previous mechanics. We still will come across velocities and acceleration, but we are more concerned on something else rather than velocities and the displacements. So NLM is a new beginning. This is the point where you can join the class and you can still be comfortable with the class. Got it, beta? So never give up. I have never given up in my entire life. Fight it out. And I know that you can succeed, but you must have that grit. You must have that passion. If you don't have that passion for IIT, you will not get into an IIT. If you have that passion, you will get. No one can stop. Okay. On that note, I've taken a lot of time, but I have to encourage you. Every paper you give, take it as a dress rehearsal, beta. Remember all the question. I'll ask office people to give you the PDF of those questions. Keep them in your record. Keep them in a soft copy. Keep them in your laptop. Date-wise. For the exam, for the final exam, you just go through the 2500 questions. And I'm sure if you don't get those out of those 2500, 10 questions, 15 questions in the exam, you name anything for me, put any name in front of me, in the back of me, and I'll accept it. That, oh, I failed. I will not fail. I know that. Okay? Chalo. With this, so it doesn't matter. We have not missed anything. You must be knowing what is velocity, what is acceleration. You can have a look at the lectures of motion in 1D. There are only 10, 12 lectures. You can just go through them. And if possible, I'll send you the notes. Just go through those short notes. I'll send you a short note. I have sent you mind maps as well. Go through the mind maps that are good enough. For you to continue with this class. Okay, don't worry. You have not missed anything. If you would have missed anything, I would have told you better. You have missed everything in your life. I am the person who never lies. I can't lie. I am the person that never lies. So you can have a look at the questions. You will get it. Don't worry. Yes. You can have a look. Take care. Okay. What do I do next? I was on LLM. NLM. Yes, Goli. What does NLM mean? What does NLM mean? NLM is the name of this chapter. I call it NLM. Maybe called differently in your CBSE textbook. What does NLM means? I hope all of you know this. NLM means what, Goli? Newton's laws of motion. Just say that. NLM means Newton's laws of motion. Newton's law of motion. I guess you must be having a fair idea of Newton's laws of motion. Can anyone tell me what is Newton's laws of motion? Please raise your hand. I need to know how many of you know about Newton's laws of motion. Anyone? Venu, Maruti, Anil. Okay, Veronica, unmute yourself. Tell me what is Newton's laws of motion. What do you know about Newton's laws of motion? Veronica. I've lost Veronica, I think. Anyone else would like to tell me what do you think about Newton's laws of motion? When I ask you a question, now I want you to answer. The reason that I do it is it's not because of I want to praise anyone or I want to degrade the rest of you. I just want to understand what you have understood. One example or one student can get me the feeling of how you have understood the entire topic, so that I can make you understand in a way which makes you more comfortable. That is the only reason I ask you a question. And if you know it correctly, I will praise you. Yes, anyone? NLM, what do you understand by Newton's laws of motion? You can start from anywhere that you feel like. Sir, this is what I know about NLM. Anyone? Renu, Suri, you have joined back. Anyone? Okay, someone is. I can't unmute myself, sir. Veronica, you can. Yeah, see, everything is possible in this universe. We live in a very good universe. Where is Veronica? Let me see. Where is her? Where is Veronica? We live in a very good universe, beta. Everything is possible in this universe. Trust me, I love this universe. I would not go to any other universe for anything. Yes, Veronica is here. Okay, now try. Can you unmute yourself? Veronica can't unmute yourself. Suri, can you unmute yourself? Let me have you on the mic. Suri, can you unmute yourself? Okay, I might. Our participant have unmuted. Anyone? Harshita, can you unmute yourself? Anyone? Harshita, can you unmute yourself? No one can. What is it? What is wrong? What is wrong with the system? No one can unmute. Goli, can you unmute yourself? Sunday can do it. He's trying. Yes, Anna can try. Goli, unmute yourself. Tell me what you know about Newton's laws of motion. Suri is not able to unmute. I don't know what's wrong, beta. You must be able to unmute. I have allowed you to unmute yourself. Can't be. Allow participant to unmute. No one can unmute. Okay, Suri does not have a microphone. If you don't have a microphone, you can't unmute. Anyone who can unmute? Vahini, Kevin, Shashank, Sainath, Goli, Hanak, Harshita. No one can unmute. Okay, maybe something wrong. Let's not waste time on this. So, as I can see, because I can read from what you have written, everyone knows at least one law of Newton. That is probably the third law, and that is the third law. Okay, Harshita, there's a noise in your room. I understand that. Again, Harshita, just studying. Try to study in a place where you don't get noises. Otherwise, see, my voice is very bad. I can't listen to my own voice. It is so bad, so bad. And if in that bad noise you get all sorts of noises, you will get it will be difficult. So sit at a place where you have less noise. Also, if possible, try not to see the class on a mobile phone. I hope you know how to screen your mobile. I mean, your screen sharing. You must be having TVs. You can share the screen on your TV. See it on a bigger screen. Laptop is good enough. Okay, laptop is good enough. And if you have noises, Harshita, you can use this small thing, which we call it as earphone. If you have a laptop or your mobile, you can put the earphone on so that you don't get the ugly noises. And try to that screen share your mobile onto that, and you will have a very good experience. It's way better than offline classes, I feel, because you are safe at home. I feel comfortable that way. Most of the law, Shashank is telling me about Newton's first law. I had no idea that you know first law, Shashank. In first law, an object will not change in motion unless the force acts. Only in the second law, the force of an object is equal to the mass times acceleration. And third law, when two objects interact. Well done, Shashank. Well done. You have actually you told me all the three laws, but we go see my processor is a Pentium processor. You are all on i5 and i7 and i8 and i9. I would rather go slowly. Most of you know Newton's third law of motion. Let us start with the third law. You say, sir, why we are skipping the first and second law? I'm not skipping anything here. Because this law, everyone knows, everyone understands it. So we'll start with this because we'll be needing this law before the first and the second one. We come to all this Newton's law. First law also we'll do in great detail. Second law also we'll do in great detail, but we'll start with the third one. To every action there is almost everyone has, to every action there is what? An equal, yes, Shashank, an equal and opposite reaction. To every action, there is an equal and opposite reaction. To every action that you see, there is an equal and opposite reaction. Now, there are many ways to understand what I have said over here. One way of understanding this is my way of understanding. You cannot touch anything without getting touched yourself. If you are touching, if I'm touching this pen is also touching me. Action and reaction. The other way of understanding this is when I'm touching the pen, actually, I'm holding the pen actually here like this. I'm exerting a force on this pen. I'm exerting a force on this pen. Now, whatever force I'm exerting on this pen, or one body is exerting on the other body, same force is exerted by the second body on the first one. If I call one of these forces as action, if I call one of these forces as action, the other force becomes my reaction. For example, let me take a very simple example. And we will be seeing a lot of these examples. You will be seeing this thing, which I always told you is ground. And there is something kept on this ground. Okay. Now, we are on this planet Earth, and most of the questions that we do in this chapter will be on planet Earth. We'll be wandering into space and gravitation, where we'll be doing questions of satellites and moons and so many fascinating stuff. But right now, we are confined to Earth. Now, as soon as we are confined to Earth, Mother Earth will exerts a force on all of us. We call that force of gravity or gravity simply. Because of that gravitational force, we have our weights. Do we understand our weight? Everyone has a weight because of the gravitational force, mg. M stands for the mass. G stands for acceleration due to gravity. This is the weight of the body. Weight of the body is nothing but the force with which Earth attracts us. Force of gravitation of Earth on any body is known as its weight. Now, when I put this body on the top of other body, it could be like this mouse of mine. See? This is a surface table, and I kept this mouse on that surface. This mouse or this block is pressing this ground with a force. If I call that force, the block is pressing it. If I call that force as F1, F1 is the force. F1 is the force exerted by, this is my ground. What is F1 here? Can anyone tell me what is F1 that I've drawn here? This F1 is the force. F1 is what? This is the force exerted by M on ground. Do we understand this? Let me call this force as the action force. This is the action. Block on ground. Yes, Hannah. You have to be very clear of what we are talking in NLM. Block on ground and ground on block are two different things. What Sir Isaac Newton, to be very precise, Sir Isaac Newton told us, to every action, there is an equal and opposite reaction. So if I have pressed, I mean my block, if the block has pressed the ground will also do what? Ground will also do what? Will also press or push the block. F2. F2 is the force exerted by ground on the block M. If I call F1 as action, this F2, gentlemen, becomes my reaction. Do we understand this? If I call F1 as action, F2 becomes reaction. Or I can reverse it. What do you mean by reversing it? I can call F2 as action. Then F1 becomes reaction. Do we understand this? Can I have some raise hand that we have understood this? Action, reaction, action, reaction, action, reaction. Only 8 people have understood this? No, it cannot be the case. We have too many people here in the class. Starting with Vijay Lakshmi, Sai Sarda, Shashank, Karthik, Harshavardhan, Rishika, Venkatesh, Rishika, Triveni, Tejasvi, Viraju, Sana, Padmakant, Veronica, you're not saying anything. Ganesh, Dinesh, Praveen, Likita, Yashwant, Sashank, Kevin, K. Akshit, BP, Jyotsana, Jagdish, Sayatarun, Shreya, Anjali, where are you? Anil, Maruti, Venu is there. Okay. See, I have participation. So if I call F1 as action, F2 becomes reaction. The other way of saying the same thing, Newton's second law, I told you, first way is every action has, to every action there is equal and opposite reaction. The second way is if I'm touching something, the other thing is also touching me. The third way is if I exert a force on another body will exert the same force on me. Action and reaction are equal and opposite. Action and reaction are equal and opposite, but they act on different bodies. This F2 is acting on M. F1 is acting on ground. Now you must be very clear when you talk about forces. There must be three things that you must be very clear. The first thing is what is the magnitude. The second thing is what is the direction. The third is which force are you talking about? Are you talking about the action force or are you talking about the reaction force? Because in this chapter we'll be drawing something known as FBD. What do you mean by this FBD? I'll be using all these small terms, I like to conserve energy. I'm a very conjuice. I can't waste energy like this. If I go out of this room, I'll switch on all the lights and fans. I can't keep them on. If there's a tap leaking in my house, I will somehow get it repaired that and then. I cannot waste a single drop of water. I cannot waste a single drop of energy. When I speak, I spend a lot of energy. So I use this short term. FBD. What does FBD mean? Free body diagram. Free body diagram. We'll be drawing a lot of FBDs. Free body diagram. Now, when I draw these FBDs, which I call it as free body diagrams, I will not use free body diagram. It takes a lot of energy from me. When we draw these free body diagrams or FBDs, we'll be drawing the forces that acts on this object. For example, in which case, the case of this block of mass M, if I ask you, we don't know what is FBD. If I ask you, draw the FBD of this block, free body diagram of this block, what you will draw? Free means there should be only one body. Free body means there should be only one body, so other bodies should disappear. And then you to draw the diagram with all the forces. So if I ask you to draw the FBD of this block M, your FBD will look like this. There is a small ground that I have drawn so that I understand that is kept on ground. Then this is the block. Weight of gravity is acting on this mg. Ground is exerting a force on it, and I've called it F2. So this becomes the FBD of the block M. Do we understand this? We'll be drawing a lot of these FBDs. When I ask you to draw this FBD, you have to understand that if you are drawing the FBD of block M, you must only draw the forces that are acting on block F of block M. You should not draw other forces. As you can see very distinctly, I have not drawn this force F1. Why I have not drawn this force F1 in this diagram? Why I have not drawn this force F1 in this diagram? Because that force F1 is not acting on the block. It's acting on the ground. No one asked me to draw the FBD of ground. I drew the FBD, free body diagram of the block, and I only drew the forces that I see on the block. And that is why it is very essential for us to understand force applied by what on what. F1 is the force exerted by M on ground. So I should not draw this if I draw the FBD of M. What should I draw instead? F2, which is the force exerted by ground on M. Do we understand this? Can I have some raised hand that we understand this? Free body diagram is what we are going to draw, and then we are going to draw forces on that diagram. Therefore, we need to understand which force is acting on what. Vijay, Sai, Shashank, Kartik, Harsha, Vardhan, Rishika, Vikas, Venkatesh, Triveni, Tejasvi, Viraju, Swati, Siddharth, Sana, Padmakan, Ganesh, Dinesh, Praveen, Sainath, Likita, Yashwant, Kevin, Josana, Shreya, Maruti, Anil. Are we all there? Yes. Don't sleep in the class. Not a good habit to sleep in the class. Now we have talked so much about force. We have talked so much about force. Now the question is, what is force? What is force? What do you mean by force? And I'll give you a chance to speak. I mean, if you can unmute yourself, raise your hands if you want to talk. Can you tell me what is force? What do you mean by force? Not there was noises coming from you. What Harshita has said, and Harshita has said that force is something that will help to change the shape and position of any object. That is very true. Now let me put my thought onto it. All of your thoughts are correct. Let me put my thoughts onto it, and I'll just quote it from this. I think you'll have this. I'll just quote it from here. A pull or a push. Whenever you think about force in your lower standard, you always thought of force as a push or a pull. It is still valid. It is still a push or a pull. Now, since you've come to 11th standard, you must elaborate more. You must have deep insight. I always told you, whatever you have done in 9th standard, same thing you are going to do in 11th standard with a deep insight. That's it. If I would have taught you in 9th standard, probably I would have taught you 11th standard in 9th standard. And up till now, you would have finished your 11th standard and half of 12th. Force is a pull or a push. Very true. That was probably the definition that you heard in the 9th standard, but we can add something more to it. Which changes or tends to change. Tend means it is trying to change the state of rest. If the body is at rest, it is trying to change the state of rest or the state of uniform motion or the direction of motion. I would also add something here, which who said? Ashita said that, or Vaini said it? Vaini said about interaction. I will add interaction. Harshita said it. Or it changes or tends to change size or shape of the object. This is an object. This is a ground. Put this object here and apply a force. You can see this is moving. So I'm changing its state of rest or motion by applying a force. So that describes what this book is saying. What I have added here is this thing. Apply force on this. It is not changing the state of rest or motion, but it is trying to change the shape of this object. You don't see any change in shape, but at microscopic level, there would have been some change in shape, which you can't see. Force is a push or a pull, which can change or trying to change what all things? Size, shape, state of rest, state of motion. You can also say direction of motion. So force does all of these 5 or 6 things. Written very clearly here. It may change speed, which is the magnitude of velocity. It may change direction of velocity or direction of motion. It may change both speed and direction, that is velocity, or it can change the size and shape of the body. Do you all understand this? You have to write this. Do you all understand this? Can I have some reason that we understand this, sir? Size, shape, state of rest, state of motion, direction of motion. Only 6 people have understood this. Suri, Suri got it. Sai, Shashank, Kartik, Harsha, Vikas, Vijay, Venkatesh, Triveni, Siddharth, Sana, Padmakant, Ganesh, Dinesh, Praveen, Likita, Jashwant, Shashank, Kevin, Josna, Jayashankar, where are you? Jagdish, Teja Beta, Santosh, Shreya, Deepak, Anil, Venu, Maruti, where are you? Anjali, I have not heard from you for a while. Where are you? Still in the class, I guess. So force is that push or a pull that does all of this. Vahini used a very important word, and that is the word that probably changes the way that this definition looks like. And that word, as Vahini said, was this one: interaction. Interaction. Now, if you don't understand the word interaction, you can just call it influence. Influence. A good English word to replace interaction. I'm holding this pen. I'm exerting a force on this pen. Me, I mean my fingers, and this pen is having an interaction. I'm interacting. My fingers are interacting with this pen. My fingers are influencing this pen. This influence or this interaction between the object, you can call this pen as the object, between the object and the source is me. I'm applying a force on this pen. I'm interacting with this pen. I'm influencing this pen. I'm exerting a force on this pen. This pen is also exerting a force on me, action, reaction. That influence or that interaction between an object and the source, which is giving it the push or the pull, is known as force. So you can now use the word interaction. Force is an interaction. It needs two things. If you have to exert force or something has to exert a force on you, there must be two things. There must be an object. There must be a source. I cannot touch anyone if there is nothing to be touched. If I have to touch, there must be someone who can I touch. If there's nothing to touch, what will I touch? So I can't exert a force on something that is not there. I need something else to be there. Gravitational force is force between two masses. If there is only one mass, on which mass will it exert this force? No. Electrostatic force is force between two charges. If there is only one charge, where will it exert force? Are you getting my point? So for force to exist, there must be two entities, two quantities, two bodies, two objects, source, surrounding. You may call it surrounding as well. Source, surrounding, object, surrounding, object, source, whatever you call them. There must be two things. Do we understand this? Force is an interaction. It's an interaction between two bodies. When two bodies are interacting, influencing each other, as now I am trying to influence you, but this is force. So I'm interacting with you. I'm exerting a force on you. That is the force. That is the force of teaching. Hypothetical concept. But I hope you understand it. If you are trying to influence, if you are trying to interact with some other body, that interaction is known as force. Can I have some reason that we have understood the definition of this force? You can call it a push or a pull, no problems with that. But you can also use the word interaction. Interaction between two bodies is known as force. Influence of one body on the other body is known as force. You need at least two bodies. Only 10 people have understood this. Not good. Can I have some more raise hands? Suri, Sai, Shashank, Harsha, Vikas, Venkatesh, Triveni, the basic definition of force, Siddharth, Sana, Padmakant, Ganesh, Dinesh, Praveen, Yogesh, Likita, Yashwant, Karthik, Shashank, Kevin, Josna, Jayashankar, Deepak, Shreya, Anjali, Venu, Anil, Maruti. I hope you have understood this. Okay. Now, what type of quantity is force? Good, sorry. It is a vector quantity. If it is a vector quantity, it must have two things. Force must have two things. It must have magnitude. It must have direction. We will talk in detail about this, magnitude and direction. If it is a magnitude and direction, it must have a unit. The SI unit is newtons. I hope you know this. How much is Newton? 1 Newton is 1 kg meter per second square. We have already done this. We have talked about its dimension. The CGS unit is known as Dian. We have also done the conversion of Newton into Dian. You can also use this kilogram force. Not that important. Now, whatever forces you see around you can be classified into four categories. 4, not more. You see, sir, how is possible? There are so many forces. How can there be only 4 kinds of forces? In fact, scientists are now working on something known as string theory. They are saying even these 4 forces are not different. They come from one thing only, vibration of strings. Say vibration of string, how will it produce force? That is what scientists are working on. They call it the theory of everything. You might have seen a movie, theory of everything, string theory. One theory which explains everything. Right now there are 4 that explains everything. They say no, it should be one theory. And if I am fortunate enough, maybe in your lifetime, maybe some of you would be working on that string theory, and probably when I get older, you will be telling me, sir, what you told us was not correct. There were no 4 forces, sir. There's only one. I can make you understand. And I'll take lessons from you on string theory. But till then, there are 4 fundamental forces in nature. 4 ways in which you understand them. 4 ways which will be understand their interaction. The first one is known as gravitational force between 2 masses. Do we know this? Gravitational force between 2 masses. Force that exists because there are masses. One mass exerts force on the other mass. Gravitational force. Do we know this gravitational force? Okay. So what I'll do, I'll give you a task today. There are 4 forces in nature, fundamental forces in nature. I'll tell you their names. And I'll ask you to find more about them. That is a task, something like a project. Something like a project that your school teachers give you. You find about these forces, make a small audio clip, small, 1 minute, 2 minutes, and tell me what are those 4 forces and what you have understood about those 4 forces. The first force is gravitational force between 2 masses. The second force is electromagnetic force between 2 charges or 2 magnets. Third one is known as strong nuclear force. And the fourth one is known as weak nuclear force. So the mechanical force falls in one of these categories. Gravitational, potential energy, whatever force you see in this entire universe, what we understand right now, comes from one of these 4. And now they are saying it should be only one. One thing should explain everything. Maybe you will explain it to me when I get older. So that's your task, that's your project. Study about these forces, go on YouTube, anywhere, Google, find out what these forces are. In a minute and a half, record your voice, put it on the group, and let's see what we understand about these forces. And you'll be very fascinated to know some of these forces, particularly this one, strong nuclear force, which is the strongest force in nature. So we'll talk about these forces in the next class. Given you a small task, you don't have to solve a question. Every task is not about solving a question. Every task is all about making physics interesting for you. Here's the task I given you, 1 minute, short audio. Tell me what these forces are. You can also make a video if you want to. Put it on the group. Just 1 minute, not more than that. You can talk a lot in 1 minute. Whatever you can talk. It may not be about all the full forces. If you want to talk about a particular force, talk about that. I gave you this freedom. So let's see it. Who all does it? A task, an entertaining task. I hope you all would like it. Do it, put it on the group, and let's see what we can come up. I'll end today's class here, and I hope that we have gained something from this class. I'll meet you again in a day's time. Till then, I hope that you stay happy, safe, fine, and I hope that you participate and you find physics interesting. If you can find it interesting, I'm sure you will get the maximum marks in physics. That has been always my aim, that my students should get maximum in physics, no matter what exam they give. Okay, so take care, guys. I'll see you tomorrow, day after tomorrow, whatever. And I'm always there for this. I'm always there for you. Anytime you feel like, send me a message on the group, and I'm always there. Even at 2 o'clock in the night, I'm still awake. Okay, beta. Take care. Have a nice day, beta. Bye bye.